welcome to Beyond Profile. Today's June 19th, and the market yesterday continued its uptrend after the weekend Greece elections. This morning we're opening slightly a little bit higher, close to being just about flat to break even here. The market's kind of just traded in a balanced trading area overnight. You can see we traded up into that 1340, 142 area yesterday, very close to a technical gap fill from this bar here, which is actually 43.50. You can see all the naked POCs that we have above us here. Some good targets up in the 53s, even to this prior breakdown of 60s. Looks like the market, now that has broken out of the balance area, if you remember, right, let's review real quick what had taken place. We were in a balanced trading area going into the prior week here when we had gap down below that base. Tried to break lower. There was no follow through. The market, got back inside of balance. We knew at that point we were going to test the other side of the balance area. And as of Friday, obviously, we closed outside of it. Yesterday, we had continuation of that move higher into the markets. And what do we have above us? Really, it's clean air. There's not too much in the way of stopping us into those areas until we start getting into this prior B formation that we actually had up here in the chart. And it really wasn't even that tight of a supply. It's pretty, it's really pretty loose in that area when we were coming down in May. So you had your stage one stopping price development around it, our continuation, and now we're starting to do some stage four work back into these prior balance areas. And again, you can see all of these naked VPOCs here in the market that we potentially could deal with all the way to the top of that prior B formation, which is what, 1360 on the upswing. Ideally, again, this is sort of a change of polarity yesterday as they came back and retested that area. 1327s, we closed, like I said, 1341 area. And the market this morning, pre-market, hanging on into that area already. Let's take a look at the 30-minute. Here's our 30-minute chart. You can see from yesterday's, this low down here had tested the prior value area low, 27s, and then we rallied back up. We still haven't taken out the Globex highs from Sunday night, which would be still a focal point for us. As far as your first area of supply, make sure you have that marked off on your chart, and then you can see that naked VPOC up there at 50s. That's close to the one that we saw on the daily chart. So we're somewhat balanced trade Sunday night, and so far pre-market this morning we could draw a box around this whole thing and say we've got acceptance of value, unfair lows, unfair highs. We continue to auction in that range 1330 to 1341, 42 area, and the market is finding acceptance of value there. So our first area to get through obviously would be the highs from Sunday night, because if you look at this, I'm thinking the market was probably thinking a lot the same it was the week before when we had the Spain news and they were going to bail out Spain, and that Sunday night we opened up like at 1342. And then the prior morning when we opened on Monday, we closed down at 1300. So that was a big difference. And where is all the stops? So where's all the stops on this one when we start talking about a continuation move or stop runs, if you will? It's over these 1347. So you can see that area's got to be dealt with for stops. So I'm going to be looking at that as being our first area of resistance even this morning. I think we probably continue to push up into that. We have a housing number coming out, and then look to see if this doesn't play rotation back and forth in here. We've got FOMC tomorrow, expecting some sort of a balanced type trading day anyway. I'm not looking for some big explosive move, and as if this can rotate back and forth within this area, we'll just play that balance area back and forth. And keep in mind too, the gray line here represents where we are at last week's value area high. So value is increasing, or I should say it's building higher levels than it did over last week. Even this morning looks like again our trading here is going to be higher than it was yesterday. We're going to actually be opening out of value. So if the market's out of value and it continues to move in that direction, obviously one of two things needs to happen. We either have acceptance of value or price will pull back to the prior value area in the markets. Okay, I think that's it. Let's have a good trading day today, and we'll see everybody in the room.